Bullfighting has been a tradition in many countries such as Mexico, Spain, Colombia, and other countries like that. Some of them consider being as a sport, other ones consider it being an art performance, and other ones consider it being a animal cruelty. The red cape, known as muleta, uh, famously known by its color, which is red. Most people think that that's a reason why the bull charges towards the bullfighter. In fact, according to Science ABC, the bulls are actually dichromatic. They have dichromatic vision, which means that they only have two cones in their eyes. These cones are the ones who let you see colors, certain spectrums. In his case, the bull's case, it would be the color. It would be the color blue and purple region zone, and the other one is yellow and greenish. But nothing to do in the red zone. So it had nothing to do with the color red. But why would red be the color of of the cape then? It's just tradition to begin with, but some of them think of it as just to hide the blood that is coming out of the bowl after the sword is inserted. Pretty crazy. I believe though that the color red is one of the most influential, bold, and exciting colors there is. As my journey here in my undergrad in TSU is approaching to the end this semester, psychology, well, hopefully I graduate. My psychology and neuroscience background should account and all my knowledge on awareness and or lack thereof of the effects of colors and other stuff that actually do affect people's environment or the changes that changes your behavior. I've taken classes and I actually really like them. But there's a lot to learn about colors. There's a whole section in psychology, color psychology, that focuses mostly on all the colors and all behaviors that they can possibly make you feel. For example, orange, it'd be confident and success, which is probably what I need right now. Yellow would be for creativity and happiness. Green is for healing and quality. Different hues, different shapes would have different ones, but of course I'm not going to go over all of them. But blue would be for trust and peace, and well, red, we'll talk about red here in a second. But first, I will focus mostly on the color red and how it affects us personally. I will first illustrate how the color physically can alter our bodies. And second, I will change the way we perceive the way the colors perceive our environment. And the third, I will depict how it can change the way that we behave. So first, let's just see how color can affect our bodies. Colors are so powerful they can literally change your bodies physically. Even though we don't know it sometimes, the human brain is continuously processing all these sorts of stimuli around you. One of the examples occurs in a part of the brain named the hypothalamus, which it is responsible for controlling hormones and regular hunger, temperature, sleep. If you see right here, that would be right here. The hypothalamus, of course, is not very anatomically correct. It's just very artsy, but that would be mostly the location for the hypothalamus. And we'll come back to the medulla here in a second. Studies have shown that the color red actually is one of the most stimulating colors there is. So, to contradict that, so blue color, like at the end of the day in the sun, when the moon is setting, the sky, the body actually increases melatonin in the bloodstream, which it makes us sleepy. It makes us ready to go to bed. The opposite happens though when the sun is starting to come up in the morning with the red and the yellow. Um, the melatonin, well, the hypothalamus starts creating the melatonin and or suppress the melatonin so that you can start waking up. That's the point. So colors affect our melatonin in our hypothalamus. It can also do the cardiovascular system. We know that sometimes red can raise our blood pressure, our heart rate, or our pulse, and that's what medulla oblongata actually does that. So, it's just a fun fact for you to know. Now that we've talked about some examples about how it can change our bodies, let's talk about our surroundings, our environment. Natalia Filvarova explains how some of us might underestimate the color of power. In her TED Talk, Natalia, a neuroscientist, supported how the fact of colors may be underestimated. Evolutionary speaking, for instance, in animals who are brightly red are pretty much very poisonous. Red is one of the signs of potential danger in nature and is often toxic or poisonous. For example, there's a tropical frog. It is known as strawberry poison dart frogs, but the real name is Dendrobates pomelio. According to BBC.com, frogs are the brightest ones. The brightest ones are actually the most potent ones, but they are easily viewed by birds or any other animals. They're poisonous. So, another example is a scarlet snake. It is red and has two stripes, two black stripes, and then one in the middle. But this one is not necessarily poisonous. It imitates or it looks like another one. These snakes can be easily mistaken by the coral snake, which is venomous according to the National Geographic. Colors can also have different meanings around country to country, culture to culture. There's an universality that crosses throughout all the people. Red is known throughout all countries to be the color of stop, for example. The first dates usually are red because they get attention. You can easily find it if you need it. Now let's talk about the environment. And this is the last point, the way that we react to colors, because our environment impacts the way we act, we treat each other. Physical attractiveness is portrayed over and over in movies and shows so much because red makes people feel empowered and strong. Women find men wearing red more desirable than those that are wearing color blue or white, for example. There was also a study that says similarly, men find women who are wearing a red dress, and then she dressed in a purple dress, and then the red one, of course, was preferred over the blue one, and there's been many studies like that. Red colors can also be perceived as positive and negative connotations. So marketing takes advantage of the powers of colors, which uses it in their products. Companies such as uh, to grab your attention, like Coca-Cola, Netflix, Exxon, Nintendo, Target, and many, many, many more. Um, Bottom line, though, after we've learned everything about this powerful color, advertisement is wherever you look. It is the best way to get whatever it is that you're selling or sending a message, what it is that you meant to spread around. For instance, people who believe that the bull was affected by the color red, when that was not the truth. But the point that I'm trying to make is that people inadvertently made associations with the color red and anger, in the case of the bulls, right? But do we do that with colors? Do we? What changes it could happen if we were aware of it, right? When inferring something about our environment and our physical feelings, we need to stop and think what it is that we're feeling and in the way that we are feeling, and try to understand the reaction, whether it is appropriate or not, and just think about the colors of your surrounding, especially if it is the color red.